You guys want to know what a fucking $80 joke looks like, ladies and gentlemen? A fucking $80 joke. In fact, this video is pretty much par for the course for any time you buy a game or buy anything that turns out to be like dog shit. Okay? And there's no fucking excuse for it. Now, before we preface this, let me just bring up an example that I think a lot of us might know. You know a game called Elder Scrolls Skyrim? You know, that really, I don't know if anybody's heard of it. It's that action role-playing game or whatever. And it is a pretty fucking decent game. Now, the reality of Skyrim is that if you were going to go buy it on, say, a console at the time, which would be which at the time at launch would be Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, there would be an easy decision. If you had both systems, it would always be Xbox or not the other one, because at the time Bethesda games were pretty asinine with running on PlayStation. Nowadays, I mean, with similar architectures, there's no reason why they should fuck up, and they really don't as far as I recall. But regardless, there was a period of time where, at least from one company, buying the same exact game, the same price tag for the same exact game, but getting an absolutely inferior product. And that wasn't none of this is any hyperbole. Because at the time, you would be paying up the ass, like the same price, again, for absolute crappy content. Content that wouldn't work, it wouldn't even get patched properly, you get the entire deal. So recently, a game called Monster Hunter World, which is a game that I've just sort of gotten back into for some reason. I've been on a complete hiatus, I've done everything else, but I started to play some Monster Hunter World again. Now, initially when I got this game, I bought it day one on a PlayStation 4, and I made it pretty much all the way to the end, save for the last couple bosses. And other games came out at the time. I got into Final Fantasy X, so my entire gameplay structure sort of switched out. But I've gotten back into Monster Hunter World, and I have appreciated and liked the grind. The community is great. I've been able to get into a bunch of matches and bring some pain, in my opinion. I've been doing okay. I'm not exactly the best player, but I've been doing a solid good chunk of it. And one of my buddies was talking about getting the PC version of the game, since they don't own the game. They don't own the PS4 or Xbox One. And for me, I wanted to sort of see what the PC version of Monster Hunter World was going to be like. Up until this point, Capcom has been doing an okay job making their PC games. They haven't been coming out terrible as compared to the Japanese game developers of old. And I genuinely wanted to see what a pretty game like Monster Hunter World, which is a very pretty game, would look like on the PC with maximum settings. Now, I have a pretty monster computer, I would say myself. I have a pretty enthusiast-grade graphic card, CPU, and everything. My buddy is somewhat up there as well. His graphic card isn't exactly, you know, like the 1080s or something of the sort, but he's got a pretty decent system. He's fine. Apparently, buying a game for fucking full price, ladies and gentlemen, because let me do a double take real quickly. Let me just actually find the price again so that I don't totally nonsense myself. Let me just yeah, 60 fucking dollars, ladies and gentlemen, for Monster Hunter World on the PC. 55, 60, all that kind of good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, my biggest problem with this is that this game was initially delayed. If you don't remember, Monster Hunter World PC got delayed by months upon months. They wanted to fix up the PC version for the PC release. They wanted to put their all in. They told motherfuckers they were going to put their all into developing this goddamn game for the computer. And so people motherfucking waited months. They waited months upon months upon months. Until about a week ago, this game finally fucking hit store shelves. It hit Steam, people were able to download and get into it and play it. And from what I've basically gathered and from what I've experienced and played myself, this game runs like a fucking dumpster fire on the computer. And there is no goddamn excuse for this situation, ladies and gentlemen. I know I've stayed pretty quiet when it comes to terrible fucking PC ports as well. But it was around the time of Arkham Knight, all these kind of games. Whenever a terrible job comes around, a terrible porting job, there's absolutely no fucking excuse for this situation. In my life, I've experienced 3 ports as bad as Monster Hunter World. It would be GTA 4, it would be Batman Arkham Knight, and it would be, Dark Souls, the original for the PC. You know, the one you had to pretty much patch in order for it to fucking function right? That one? Yeah. So I've experienced games that have had absolutely terrible PC jobs, and there's no fucking excuse for it, just like there's no excuse whenever a specific console version runs like dog shit in comparison to the other version. If you're gonna make people pay the same fucking price for a game, make sure they get the same goddamn level of respect that you're willing to charge them for. If a game runs like a dumpster fire on the Xbox One, charge motherfuckers less on the Xbox One. Vice versa for the PlayStation 4. If it runs like ass on the PC, don't charge $74.99 and expect to fucking get away with it, because you simply won't. There's refunds now on Steam, dude. You ain't getting away, motherfucker. People load this shit up in 30 minutes, realize a dumpster fire when they see one, and immediately Alt F4 and get rid of that shit. Refund it right there, right now. There is no excuse for a terribly optimized game. And then there's not just the only thing going around with it. When I say terribly optimized, I mean even on a fucking GTX 1080, even on a goddamn i7 8700K, this thing could fuck your grandmother, okay, right in front of you. All right, there's no slouch. This game refuses to pull out any respectable. It still hitches. It still has a fucking hitch. It's still barely trying to function. It's trying to reach. Even on 1080p at 60 frames, like at maximum settings. At this point, that shouldn't be hard to fucking pull off. You are giving people a crappy, inferior product for the same fucking price. Even if it was $49.99, it'd still be a fucking dumpster fire that you couldn't defend. $50 for a pile of shit? Doesn't make any sense. And the argument that a lot of people defend, like, oh, Capcom will get to patching it. No, that doesn't work. When you delay the game with the express intent that, oh man, we want to make the PC version great and release this shit, the only thing left wondering in my head is how fucking terrible this game would have been had it released initially, before the whole months-long delays. People were waiting for this game. This was going to be a big deal, and it is still a big deal. There's still a lot of people playing it for sure, but the idea to give people the idea to put absolute bare minimum effort into this fucking port and still charge people the same amount when you've delayed the game for months is just downright insulting. It reminds me of GTA 4. You wait like a year plus for the game to actually release on the PC, and what do you get on the PC when that game comes out? A terrible, terrible job. It was literally a fucking abortion of software to be released on the computer. It was pointless. And again, this shouldn't be defended in any circumstance. If you're gonna charge people, again, the same amount of money, you should give them the same level of fucking respect. To this day, in 2018, Monster Hunter World had no fucking ultra-wide support. You wanna know the funny fact about that? Batman Arkham Asylum, I've actually been playing the Arkham games again. Batman Arkham Asylum, 9 fucking years ago, almost 10, still has ultra-wide support. But this game in 2018, a cutting-edge game by Capcom? No, not really. I just don't understand. I don't get the method to the madness, ladies and gentlemen. For me, everything that I witness is downright fucktarded, but I'm not going to keep you stuck here for too long, ladies and gentlemen. I really had to get my message out over there. Do I hope this game eventually gets a patch? Absolutely. But there's no way, no fucking way anybody can sit there and defend this kind of shit, ladies and gentlemen. If you're going to play Monster Hunter World, I'd highly suggest you either get it on your Xbox Ones or your PS4s, because from the version that I played, the Hitch Fest that I did, the game where even the option settings won't even fucking tell you properly. There were some option settings the game said was going to help me out. In fact, it did worse. I refuse to understand what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great game, but god damn me if I'm going to pay the same fucking amount to get an absolute fucking clusterfuck. It's just not gonna happen, ladies and gentlemen. Save your money, wait for when these guys actually release some good shit, or fix up whatever they have. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mutahara. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it, dislike it. I am out.